Greetings, and welcome to the Saved by Nostalgia podcast.
I love the Power Glove. It's so bad.
I feel the need for speed.
Sweep the leg. You have a problem with that?
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Look what you did, you little jerk.
Murdoch. I'm coming to get you.
Get busy living. Or get busy dying.
You are next.
And the thing is, after all these years, I still look back with wonder.
Welcome to the Outsiders Podcast. Noah Groniger here with a very special guest host, EJ Tangonen.
Thank you, Noah. I'm glad to be here on the Outsiders Podcast. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem at all. It's great to have you. Clint Schweitzer is away with family issues. He couldn't make it for this podcast. Yeah, exactly. And we have a very special guest on. It's his loss, William Russ, Alan Matthews from Boy Meets World, Dennis Vineyard from American History X. We've got it. Aspen Extreme. He's been in so much stuff. We are so excited to have him. How are you feeling about this, EJ? This is insane.
This is a dream come true. I mean, I grew up with this guy. He's like my second dad, basically. I learned so many lessons from him. Hell, I still watch I have the DVDs. I still watch it when it comes on Disney. I mean, this guy is like Tom Cruise to me.
Exactly. I mean, if we had Tom Cruise on, I wouldn't be shaking like I am right now.
Oh, no.
I'm completely nervous. I'm scared of screwing up. I don't know if he's going to like me. We have got to make this thing gold. It is going to be great. We are so excited to have William Russ on. Please welcome William Russ.
Good morning, Corey. Hi, Eric. Hello, Brooks Robinson, Deep Pocket Fielder's Choice model. How are you feeling today? All warm and broken in?
Dad, most people put their gloves under the mattress to break them in.
Well, most people don't have a glove that they broke in 25 years ago, Eric. See, now, with this baby, you baste it with Glavolium, and you bake it in a slow oven till the web's ready to snap shut on any line drive that comes near third base tomorrow.
The father-son softball game.
Oh, has it been a year already?
Can you believe it? Why you're making a federal case out of this?
Maybe if you were entrusted with the education of 32 sixth graders every day, you would understand what I'm talking about.
And maybe if you had a son and you were trying to find time to spend with him in between your job and fixing the car and insulating the attic, you'd understand what I'm talking about. But you don't have a son, George, so how could you understand? Just want you to know I'm going to have him in bed every night when he's supposed to be.
Well, I want you to know that if I did have a son and the opportunity presented itself to wake him up to watch a baseball game or to listen to the president on the radio, or for absolutely no reason at all. Well, good night, Alan.
Good night, George. Look, you're not dealing with gullible little kids here now, buddy. Now, you brought Sean down. Thanks. Now, why don't you just take a hike back to Conland?
Now, do you see how judgmental these people are?
No, listen. You see. A judgment I made a long time ago is that Sean Hunter is the best friend that my kid ever had. And I will kill to protect Sean Hunter from people like you.
Too bad I can't go to the water war to use it.
You can if you run.
Isn't it my responsibility to finish painting the fence?
I think your first responsibility is to stay 11 years old as long as you can.
Only worked half a shift today. Oh, I don't know how he does it.
Who?
Dad. 12-hour days. Never sits. Eats his lunch standing up. never takes a break. It's like he's not human. It's like he's something.
It's like he's Superman.
Huh?
Superman's my dad.
All right, here on the Outsiders podcast, it's our pleasure to welcome one of our favorite actors of all time, William Russ. You guys know him best from Aspen Extreme, American History X, and who can forget Boy Meets World. Welcome to the show, William, and how you doing these days?
Thanks, guys. Glad to be here. I'm doing fantastic.
Hey, William, this is EJ. I'm the guest co-host this week, and just got to say I'm a huge fan of the show. I'm a huge fan of you. First and foremost, we got to talk about this big news. Girl Meets World gets picked up by Disney. Can we look forward to Grandpa Alan making an appearance, or have they approached you about it?
I don't know. I'd certainly love to. You know, I'm real happy for those guys. It's a great bunch of people, and Michael Jacobs, who created the show, was really an extraordinary talent.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to coming in there as granddad. But also, if you remember, I actually have a kid that's only 2 years older than girl.
That's right. So they haven't approached you about it yet. Are they sort of saving it, do you think?
I don't know. We'll see. You know, they do a pilot, and then they start making up shows. So.
Okay. Awesome. Well, the show Boy Meets World has been just such a big part of a lot of people's childhoods. How do people respond to you in public, like when they recognize you?
Well, it's a pretty special gift that I've gotten, and I go, all over the country because I travel and see a lot of places, a little gas station in the middle of nowhere, and somebody go, Alan Matthews, and it's really kind of very special, that I was able to come into these people's lives as this character, and I've had people say, that they needed a dad at a certain time in their life. Alan happened to be that dad for them, and that's really quite touching to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm one of those people, so I can definitely feel like what they're feeling. So, can you give us any?
So that's a great gift that actors have. Actors, whether they're playing good guys or bad guys, sometimes it's the experience that people take away from their channeling, so to speak, maybe a certain kind of energy, whether it's a dad or a mom or a sister or a brother or whatever the character may be. That's a special gift that actors have.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Try to hold pretty sacred.
Mm-hmm. Going back to your time on the show, can you give us any insight behind the change from Lily Nixay to Lindsay Ridgway as Morgan?
No, not really. There's just it really had nothing to do with anything that I was involved with, so that was a producer decision. I have no idea really what that would have been about.
Another change in the cast, if you're privy to it, I didn't understand what Anthony Tyler Quinn as Jonathan Turner. I mean, he was a great addition to the show, so why was he written out after the motorcycle accident?
Gosh, I don't really know.
Just let us know if we get too weird on you here, too.
It's always kind of sad when people leave. I mean, there are various reasons, and it's really you'd have to ask them. Mm-hmm. I really don't have the insight to that sort of thing.
Being the son of a naval officer, did you have the writers write in that Alan was in the Navy, and what meaning did that have for you?
Well, I think Michael knew that. He knew. We obviously talked, and actually, when they created the part, they came to me, and I wasn't really interested at the moment of doing a show, and then they did the pilot and came back to me. They came with someone else, and hold on, sorry guys.
No problem.
Are you there?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, it's okay. Modern times, beep beep.
You gotta take the good with the bad. Yeah.
It's my dog beeping me for a walk.
Oh.
But I think Michael took that and just put it in there as a tribute to my dad. My dad was a Naval Academy guy, and my mom was actually a Navy nurse. So I had a lot of Navy.
Wow. That's crazy. Well, being such an iconic family sitcom dad, you mentioned to us earlier, you're very much a family man yourself. Did a lot of Alan Matthews carry over into your real life parenting, or did you go another direction with it?
No, I tried to bring qualities that he had, and I'm sure he wasn't a perfect person. That's one reason I think the show worked.
Right.
Everybody had their own little idiosyncrasies, I think, but I tried to bring in patience and fun and and a lot of that into my own life with my kids. And it was pretty special. My daughter grew up kind of around Corey and Topanga and all those guys. She would come to the set and hang out with those kids, and they were great to her.
That's so great.
And so it's been, it was fun. It was very fun.
So do your kids continue to watch the show? How do they feel about it?
Oh, actually, my son has never really watched it, I don't think.
Oh, really?
He was born.
Oh,
he was
no.
born actually after we finished it. I mean, he's seen it
Mm-hmm.
on reruns, but he's only 14, so.
Oh, okay.
But my daughter Georgia, of course, watched them all. She's 22 now, and she gets a kick out of it. She was actually on one, I think, as an extra.
Really?
Yeah, as a little kid, and I think it was the Christmas episode.
Oh, wow. So she didn't get bit by the acting?
Funny stories. She was riding in the back of the car. She was about 5, and we said, we got a little special surprise for you. You going to do something on the show? And she said, oh, yeah, really? Am I going to direct? We said, no, not quite. You're not going to direct yet.
Let's work our way up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been my question. But yeah, it was pretty special. Pretty special playing Alan Matthews and with Betsy Randall as my wife. It was all pretty sweet.
Well, later on, we saw your name attached to the episodes as director. What was it like making the transition to directing the episodes as opposed to just being in them?
Oh, it was really, really fun. And, of course, I had great support from the cast, and the crew, and the producers. And, directing a show like that, especially when you're taping it, it's a little like being in a 3-ring circus. It's all live, and it's very exciting and takes a lot of concentration and energy. And it was really, really a special time. Really fun.
Kind of getting close to the end of the Boy Meets World series, you filmed American History X in 1998. How difficult of a transition was that for you from all-around good guy Alan Matthews to kind of a complex character in Dennis Vineyard, who you weren't quite sure if he was racist or just angry about affirmative action?
Yeah, well, it was interesting. Those guys can't, they had been to everybody in the world, and they couldn't quite cast that part. And they kind of came and had a meeting with me, and it had been written a certain way. It was almost like an Archie Bunker character with a lot of racist expletives and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, what would you do with this? There's a whole speech there. And I said, well, all you have to do is really use just one word. You'll know everything you know. And like I said, the great thing about being an actor is you can portray these characters. And once you hear him use the N-word and give his point of view, you know everything you knew. You needed to know about why the kid grew up the way he did.
Yeah.
And the fear that he grew up under, because that's all it is. We think it's hatred that we have when it comes to racism, things like that, but it's really fear.
Mm-hmm.
It's really fear that we're talking about, and it was really, it was an intense, it was a wonderful script, and it turned out to be quite an amazing movie.
Right.
I was really proud of that, and to give this little final button on on Ed Norton's character, this little puzzle that the movie tries to figure out. I was happy to be a part of that because I really loved the movie, actually.
Well, we did a little research digging up. You're into high wind surfing and are an avid downhill skier. Is that what attracted you to the part of Dave Ritchie in the film Aspen Extreme?
Yeah, that was one of those dream jobs, man. That was one of those dream jobs.
It was a vacation, wasn't it?
The guy who created 21 Jump Street was a fan of mine, fortunately, from Wise Guy. He said, look, I really want you in this movie. I don't really have a part, but would you play this ski patrol guy? I said, hey, man, 3 weeks in Aspen, I'll be there.
You guys are paying me for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great cast, and I just had a great time. sometimes you get those jobs. You know, a lot of times you're just sitting around in a desert or in a stage, and it's really boring and hot. And it's always a gift to be an actor, but boy, sometimes you really get a really sweet one, and that was one of them.
What was your experience working with Peter Berg on the movie? He's become a really successful director.
Oh, Peter's very talented. He was a very sweet guy, and it was just a pleasure to be around him. Oh gosh, I forget the other characters. He was also a producer-writer.
Paul Gross?
Paul Gross.
Yeah.
Paul Gross is very talented too. So both of them, you know, they were really, really great.
So, if we can dial it back even more, how did you get into acting? Like, what hooked you onto it, and what was your training for it like?
Well, actually, as I tell a lot of people, it was really the first thing that I found, and I didn't really find acting till I was really in college. I went to the University of Michigan, and somehow I just fell into a speech class, and it was really acting, and I just did it, and somebody said, "Oh, I need an actor for my directing class," and I said, "I don't even know what that is, but I'll do it." And actually, it just was one of the first things in my life. I went, "Oh, I get this. I get it. I understood it. I felt comfortable." It's like you finally find the right shoe that fits. You know, it's like you trying this one and this one, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You know, what should I do? My life, where is it? And then, you know, I just kind of stepped into this place of acting and went, "Oh, this is what I do."
You just
and
knew
I
it.
never looked back. You know, then I just kind of, I did theater, and I was at the University of Michigan, and I did a lot of theater. I ran lunchtime theater. We did plays in Europe. You know, those days,
Wow.
68 to 72, we did plays on the street.
Oh, wow.
And then by accident, like life is a lot of times just showing up. By accident, some people, including, I don't know if you know Christine Lottie, but Christine and I were in school, and they said, "We're going to go to Chicago, interview for this acting school in New York. You want to drive the car?" I said, "Sure."
Wow.
So we drove to Chicago and interviewed for the neighborhood playhouse that was created by Sanford Meisner.
Wow.
One of the great acting icons. And somehow we got accepted, and I decided to go. I literally went to New York with about $40.
Wow.
And showed up to this school.
And just went for
There
it.
was my teacher. You know, I didn't really know Sanford Meisner or anything, obviously. He turned out to be my guru, my teacher.
Wow. You learned it straight from the
And I went there for 2 years, and that's a 2-year program, and graduated, and then I just got on the street and auditioned.
That's excellent.
Worked in restaurants, bartended, cooked, waitered.
So pretty much the actor's life. So who were some of your acting idols that you sort of either drew upon or just like aspired to be like?
You know, it's interesting. I mean, I don't really know if I really had any acting icons growing up. I mean, I had people I look back on and I say, wow, you know, I love those movies, I love that actor. But, you know, as I grew up, it was really rock and roll stars that everybody wanted to be. So it's kind of interesting because when I started to do Shakespeare, and I did a number of Shakespeare plays in New York and Atlanta and different places, and it was really musical phrasing that I really loved. So I don't know if I had any icons, so to speak. I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of icons I, you know, have known, and certainly there are actors I love. You know, you know, modern actors, they someone like Al Pacino.
Oh,
you know,
right.
De Niro, those guys.
Wow.
Obviously. But even old guys, you know, I like Spencer Tracy, of course, is one of the greatest actors in the world.
Of course.
And Burt Lancaster, and I mean, I love, you know, there's not, you know, I like a lot of actors. You know, they're all pretty special.
Well, we see you finished up work on 3 films of A Chance of Rain, Drones, and Magic Hour. What can you tell us about those and your roles in each of those films?
Well, let's see. Drones is a very interesting film. It's about people who fly drones, obviously. And it's kind of a moral dilemma that we have these days. You know, how do you kill people when you're, you know, 10,000 miles away?
Right.
And I play a general whose daughter is one of the pilots of these drones. Of course, they And it's quite a, it's a crisis when they have to decide to, launch a missile on a family gathering, possibly. Chance of Rain, I play kind of a Professor Bon Vivant, philosopher mentor to a young man who's had a crisis in his life, crisis of faith. What he's going to do with his life after he's worked in Africa for, helping people and coming back to the States, and he doesn't quite know what to do, and I kind of mentor him along through his crisis in the movie. And what was the other one?
Magic Hour?
Oh, Magic Hour. Magic Hour is by the guys who did a guy named Cole Mueller, who I've done 2 films with, who I think is very talented. Magic Hour is kind of a crime story about a family that makes their money doing petty crime, living in beach town like Redondo Beach, California. I'm kind of the patriarch of the family.
Oh.
And it's about these kids kind of dealing again with their life and the consequences that they choose. So they're all kind of interesting, and they're all kind of different and independent, and hopefully we'll see them. These days the business is so different.
Yeah.
So it's really a pleasure to work with a lot of young actors, a lot of young directors and producers. It's always really a gas.
You showing them the ropes?
I don't know if I'm showing them the ropes, but I just show them, you got to have more food over here for these actors.
Do some catering.
Need more craft service.
Yeah. We'll see what we can do for you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you're up for it, we're going to ask you some questions from the questionnaire created by Bernard DeVoe, which is always used by James Lipton at the end of Inside the Actor's Studio. What do you say?
Sure, why not?
He sounds thrilled.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Well, if you've seen Inside the Actor's Studio...
Why don't I just give you the answers?
You want you want to? Well,
no, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead, I'll give you the answers.
Oh,
Give
come
me
on.
the questions first. That's how most people do it.
Right. Well, except on Jeopardy, but that's a whole different thing. So,
Right.
well, if you've seen Inside the Actor's Studio, you know how this works. It's kind of like a basic questionnaire. What is your favorite word?
Yes.
What is your least favorite word?
Can't.
What sound or noise do you love? See, it was worth it just for that.
I love that too, yeah.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Oh, no. Brodane. What's your favorite curse word? This should be interesting.
Fuck.
Classic.
A classic one, yes.
Yeah.
Other than your own...
Very much so.
Other than what?
Other than your own profession, what job would you most like to attempt?
Daredevil.
Oh, wow. What job would you least like to attempt?
Retail sales.
I feel you on that
Any
one.
kind of sales.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Finally, if heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say at the pearly gates?
You got the part.
Oh, God.
That's great.
Lastly, and I just wanted to add on a little thing here. I was, of course, bragging to all my friends that I would be interviewing you today, and a friend of mine, her name is Jamie. Her dad recently passed on, and she actually says that Alan on Boy Meets World still reminds her of her dad, and she loves watching the episodes and everything. And I thought it'd be like just a very cool gesture if like you can give her a little shout out, a little message, if that was cool.
Of course. Hey, Jamie. Thank you for the privilege of standing in for your dad there. I really consider it an honor.
That's great, man. Thanks a lot.
Well, William, as huge fans of yours, it was an absolute honor to have you on with us today. We'll definitely be looking out for your new films, A Chance of Rain, Drones, and Magic Hour. We just can't thank you enough, man, for taking the time out of your busy schedule, and we'd love to stay in touch and have you on again soon. It was great.
Sure, thank you, guys. It's a pleasure. Rock on, all right?
All right, thanks.
Definitely.
You rock on,
Keep going
too.
strong.
All right, buddy.
All right, have a good one.
You too. Take care.
All right.
All right, thanks again to William Russ for being on the show. Man, I am so glad I guest hosted this week because this was just a huge, huge thing for me to interview him. I grew up watching the show. You know, he's practically like a second dad to me. I learned so much. You know, we have to watch Girl Meets World because, you know, if the show's a success, they're going to bring Alan back. And, I mean, it's just not going to be the same show without him. It's like not bringing Fonzie back for Happy Days or something.
My favorite TV dad of all time, William Russ, as Alan Matthews in Boy Meets World. I wish he was my dad. Sorry, Dad. He was in Aspen Extreme, got paid money to do something he loves, which is ski. Got to work with Peter Berg and Paul Gross. I mean, how lucky is that?
And it's weird that, you know, as good an actor as he is, he just didn't even figure it out until he, you know, went into that speech class and volunteered and actually got to study with Meisner. I mean, everybody who's been an actor studied Meisner's method, and it's just a huge thing. Now we know why he's just so great and how he's been able to play different characters, and every character conveyed differently and just so real. I mean, it's great.
I mean, he was filming Boy Meets World, and in the middle of it, in 1998, he goes out to film American History X. Talk about two different roles there,
yeah.
Alan Matthews and Dennis Vineyard.
And he's very memorable in that scene, too. I mean, he makes that whole impression on Edward Norton's character. So it's just a testament to how great an actor he really is.
We also talk about James Lipton's questionnaire that he does at the end of each Inside the Actor's Studio. I mean, he gave great answers for that. What's his favorite sound or noise? Yahoo!
Well, thank you, Noah, for having me on this week. I mean, this was a blast. I'm glad I got to do it. I got to interview William Russ. What do you think? Am I going to be like a regular now, or?
I think we can make that happen. Clint Schweitzer, the regular co-host with me, is kind of busy with family now. He's got a girlfriend. She has a little kid. They spend a lot of time together, and we understand that. But EJ did a great job here. Give us your comments on how you think he did. I thought he was amazing.
Be nice.
Yes, be nice. William Russ, we got to interview one of our all-time favorite actors. Just, we're on cloud nine right now. We can't thank all of you enough for listening. We can't thank William Russ enough. We can't tell him how much we appreciate him coming on the Outsiders podcast. That's the kind of interviews you're going to get here, and only here,
on the Outsiders podcast.